Hey, CG community, this is Big Mike Zlotnik. For those of you who don't know, I'm a super veteran in the group. I've been in the group since 2012. Not the regional, one of the regional folks, but second year of the group. So anyway, been in the group for a long time, know everybody, and I wanted to record this video for you as this is incredibly powerful way to take advantage of the bonus depreciation. As you all know, bonus depreciation is back and its power cannot be overstated. And if you're wholetailing, using innovation, doing fix and flips, using BURRR method, or thinking of selling appreciated properties and want to reduce your taxable income, bonus depreciation on some commercial real estate projects could be a huge friend. And I know you're doing residential real estate, and I'm talking about commercial real estate projects. Let me link the two together so you understand what I'm talking about. Here's how it could work. And the first disclaimer, of course, always consult with your CPA. I'm not a CPA. I don't play one on TV, but I'm giving you practical feedback or practical wisdom that I've developed over the years, or what you can do with depreciation from commercial projects to help you offset your income from other fix and flipping, wholetailing, and other venues. Let's just say you invest in a manufactured housing community or mobile home park. Why I'm using an example of a mobile home park? Because that asset class depreciates better than any other asset class that we know. Better than multifamily, better than industrial, better than storage, better than retail. So just as an example, bear with me, take a couple of minutes to listen how it works. And you can use this technique on your projects and your investments. It's incredibly powerful. So let's just say there's a manufactured housing community that gets acquired for $10 million. And you invest in the project. And the project typically raises capital from investors through a syndication. And let's just say the project itself has 60% loan to value, LTV loan. Only 60%, very conservative. It's a $6 million loan. They need equity to purchase the property is $4 million. It's $10 million acquisition, $6 million loan, $4 million equity. Here's the innovation that I bring to the table. We typically take that $4 million and we break it into preferred equity of $2 million and common equity of $2 million. And we make preferred equity cash flow rich, depreciation poor. High cash flow, low depreciation for preferred equity, and for common equity that is typically most interesting for investors like CG guys and girls, because virtually all of them, a wide majority, are real estate professionals. And the common equity is $2 million, and it's cash flow poor and depreciation rich. What you're most interested in is having heavy depreciation. So the first year bonus depreciation, and bonus depreciation was brought back by the one big beautiful bill, and now it's back to 100%. On a mobile home park or manufactured housing community, it's approximately $6 million. Sometimes it's even higher. It's 60 to 70% of the purchase price in the first year. And you can ask me, how is it possible? Well, on a project like this, everything is either land or land improvements. And land improvements qualify for bonus depreciation. They actually fall within the 15-year depreciation schedule, which could be bonus depreciated. Land, especially if a park is not in a big city, is in a rural community or not necessarily in a big city. Allocation for value of land is small. The rest is really all land improvements. And those things could be bonus depreciated fast. So effectively, of the $10 million purchase price, $6 million gets written off through the bonus depreciation in year one. The total equity was $4 million. Bonus depreciation is $6 million, but only $2 million common equity. As a result, we're able to allocate bulk of the $6 million to the $2 million common equity. It's almost 3-to-1 ratio, but I'm conservative. I want to estimate conservatively. So the ratio actually is about 2.4, 2.5x, very conservative. So what does it mean? It means if you put in $100,000 into that deal, into the common equity of that syndication, you're going to get first year bonus. Let's call it $240,000, $250,000 loss driven by the bonus depreciation. And what do you do with this loss? Well, talk to your CPA. If you're a real estate professional for tax purposes, you could effectively reduce your taxable income. You could, instead of paying $100,000 to IRS, You could invest $100,000 in a project like that, take the bonus depreciation, write it off against your income, reduce your taxable income for the tax filing purposes, and save $100,000 on taxes. What happens next? Well, let's walk you through the mobile housing community project business plan. So a business plan of a project like this typically requires acquisition of a property, and part of the due diligence, of course, reviewing the current rents versus the market rents. In many cases, there's plenty of opportunity to increase rents through improvements on a property. So the business plan typically executes improvements to the roads, to the lighting, to the clubhouse, to the common areas, and coming to the residents of the community and making a friendly case for rent increases for the pad rent. Typically the homes, manufactured homes, are owned by the residents, but the land and the pads are owned by the community, by the syndication or the ownership of the property. So the increases in pad rents are generally well justified through improvements in common areas, for example, roads, bus stops for kids, lighting, clubhouse, etc. All those things improve the value of the property, and most residents don't mind. In fact, they appreciate the improvements, and they also are shown how the neighborhood, the market rent are higher. So that value add process of increasing rents does not take a long time. It's not like a multifamily project where you have to renovate actual apartments. You don't do that here. You don't need to. The apartments or the houses are owned by the tenants. They own their manufactured homes. So as a result, the value add work gets done fast and the rents go up relatively fast. What does fast mean? It's typically 12 to 18 months. So within 18 months, the property income goes up significantly and a good refinance is possible. In many cases, the refinance enables the owners to return majority of or all the invested equity capital in the deal within that time frame. That means that investors like you would get the capital back. Let's call it 18 months approximately, maybe earlier. So that capital comes back, but you still have the depreciation. That's a tax-free event. Refinance is just return of capital with no taxable implications. That's the beauty of this. So you invest 100K, you get 240, 250K bonus depreciation, use it to offset taxes. 18 months later, you get back wide majority, if not all, of your invested capital. So what happens next? Well, you're still in the project. The return of principal still entitles you to the economic upside, depending on the structure of the profit share, but you get the cash flow and you get the profit split on a back end. And typically a project like this, mobile home park or manufactured housing community, the life cycle of a conservative operator is 5 to 7 years, sometimes even longer. But what do you care? You got your money back. You got the tax benefits. That alone is already highly valuable. But then you're still getting cash flow every year, every quarter, and then cash flows continue to increase as rents continue to grow. And then completion of the project, how much additional return would you get? Well, normal total return target on these type of projects on mobile home communities is between 15, 16, 17% IRR. And IRR stands for internal rate of return. It's sort of a compounded rate of return. So 5, 7 years later, with this 15, 17% IRR, total return is expected to make multiple of, let's just call it 2.3, 2.2x. So you got your money back, so that's 1x. So you expect to get maybe another 100K, maybe 120K, depends. Could be a little less, could be a little more. Even if you're conservative and you say just 75 to 100K, but you're also getting cash flow. So total between the cash and appreciation, you're probably going to easily more than double your money in 5 to 7 years. But again, you had the tax benefits and then you had the return of capital. So the power is immense. But depreciation, remember, it's not a permanent deduction. It's a temporary deduction. So you need to be aware what happens on exit. On exit, typically depreciation either gets recaptured or it converts to capital gains if the parts of that were depreciated, essentially they've been worn out and they are very old. So there's no recapture in essence. It's mostly just capital gain. So in the worst case scenario, it's typically just time value of money. You put your money today, you got the deduction today, 7 years later, you have to pay taxes. But you can also enjoy the rate arbitrage because you saved on current income taxes, but you will recapture a capital gains rate. But wait, now 7 years later, you can redeploy the capital and the bonus depreciation is permanent now. So you can get into the next project, increase your capital. Because remember, you put in 100, ultimately you got 100,000 back within 18 months, and then you got the profit on exit. And you could redeploy that profit when you get it back into fresh depreciation and defer the taxes again through harvesting the losses of the bonus depreciation. So you can continue the game, or you can just pay the taxes and move on. But you benefited in multiple ways. Once again, you got time value of money, you got rate arbitrage, you got deduction fairly quickly, you get cash back in 18 months, you got an incredible benefit. And on top of all that, your capital was invested, let's just say conservatively, in a strategy that has worked as a time-proven recession-resistant asset class for many years. Now, there's risk in everything. Nothing is guaranteed in life other than death and taxes, as they say. But conservative investing in real estate commercial projects like manufactured housing communities with highly experienced operators can bring you a lot of value. And because of this uniquely beneficial, depreciable structure, this approach can be very attractive, especially in second half of the year when you need the tax deduction. You either write a check to IRS or you write a check into the project. You choose. Anyway, this is pure education, not selling you anything. We are working on a couple of projects that will be available to investors to participate. I expect the demand for the common equity units with high depreciation to be extremely high, extremely fast. Those units will sell. So if you're interested, reach out. Nothing other than we'll put you on a waiting list. We're happy to have a conversation with you when there is a project. You can take a look. You can talk to your CPA, or you can do it yourself using this technique where you take the preferred equity units. We basically bring investors with a self-directed IRA or other money that doesn't care about the depreciation. They want the cash flow and they want the safety. The common equity units that most investors like you, real estate professionals, will take are designed for high depreciation. They also have cash flow. They just don't have as much cash flow as the preferred units. So common units, they give you massive initial depreciation and less cash flow. But what do you care? You're saving so much on taxes that a few extra % of the cash flow won't really make any economic difference. That's the approach. That's how it works. I appreciate your time and attention. I hope this was helpful. Feel free to reach out with any follow-up questions. Schedule time with me to chat. Go to bigmikecall.com. That's the scheduling website, my calendar link. Schedule some time. I would be delighted to catch up. Thanks again, and enjoy the rest of your